Well.
At last, we are here.
How long this going on? This is about 6-7 years now. We planning this thing. But we didn't know we were planning it. We didn't know we were planning it. We never knew we were planning it. But I think we eventually we were going to end up here at some point in time. We here.
So, world, welcome to Backstage with Joey and Zen.
Joey and Zen. Where's Zen come from? We only know about Joey and Zen. Don't worry about that. We'll fix up. Everybody will understand what Zen is later on, because I for myself don't understand what Zen is. Right? What we have here, which in the formal sense is a podcast. It is a podcast, but we have a different spin with what we're going with this year. You wouldn't say that, Drew?
Yeah, well, we linemen, but we lime in a very intelligent way. And the purpose of the lime is to embrace who and what and why we are as Trinbagonians, Caribbean people, and people in the world who are interested and intrigued by Caribbean people.
Yes,
so we're looking
definitely.
at how we do what we do. Some of these things we do it organically. It's just the way we are, the way we roll. But Richard and I have been speaking informally, really analyzing ourselves in the socio-cultural context. As it would be nice for us to document, archive, and really take note of the people that we are.
And I think a big part of it for me was in the planning of this, what we ended up with. And I think that we could safely say at this point in time, we are introducing the world to the world's first podline. So moving forward, that this is not a podcast, it will be henceforth identified as a podline. A podline. A podline. Yeah. So because what we want to view this as is not something where we having formal interview conversations with people. Like, we want to have it in the true, authentic sense of how we Trinidadians talk stuff. And a lot of our conversations take place in a line. So if we having these conversations and we liming, we want to create the most authentic form in how a line happens in Trinidad. How the conversation flows, how people stop by, how conversations just move from one to the next, just goes like that. But we always know when we converse, there's something that's informative and entertaining that comes out of it. So that's what we want to capture here. We try to make it as enjoyable as possible, as educational as possible, as informative as possible. And we have some fun while we do that, because listen, when we go in, listen, we don't have some fun. And we want to bring this to it. But we will talk.
So, of course, we cut into each other's conversations.
Yeah.
The limers, if I think what I have to say at this point in time is more poignant, and I think Richard rambling, I will jump in. Right? And so, all topics are fair game, sport, culture, education, history, misconceptions, biases, and especially geographical biases. As country boys from a rural part of Trinidad and Tobago, deep south, Richard and I would have met at secondary school, and so we would have experienced the value, the benefits, but also some of the consequences of growing up in a rural community. And we know that has some international relations, because all over the world there's the urban and rural dynamic. And you have to come into the city to be recognized. But of course, coming from the country, from the rural communities, we know we're coming with some value and some worth as well.
And right there, all you understand why Joey is my friend, right? Because while I might think that he just says smarter than me, And because around me, I don't look smart if I just finish saying them things. So I stay close to them all easier. So listen, we're gonna talk a lot more. This is the first time you've seen us. We're gonna talk a lot more about what we're about, what drives us, people behind us and stuff like that. But we want to get into kind of like what this is going to be about, how this is going to flow. So we're going to transition right into a beautiful conversation, a beautiful line, to give you an idea of what this is about, and you will see us on the other side.
Oh yeah, we're in the beautiful Mayaro, East Coast of Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to Backstage with Joey and Zen. Oh yeah.
We have no soundboard for applause. No soundboard for applause. So my hand will have to. And that applause is also for the geography lesson that we just got there. That Mayaro is on the southeast portion of Trinidad and Tobago. For those who didn't know, now you know. Welcome everyone, and welcome to Mr. Leon Coldero, our first participant on a pod line. You're breaking a record here, Mr. Caldero. You're the first person ever to sit here on a pod line.
I stopped breaking records a long time ago. I even stopped breaking CDs. I break
Compliment of the season to you, sir.
Many happy returns to you, sir.
Yes, that's how it's done. That's how it's done.
That's
Well,
right,
that's
that's
how it's done. Joey, we here. We here.
Yeah, you know, it's really a privilege and an honor to be sitting here in Mayaro next to Mr. Caldero. You can't from Palo Seco, so now you know.
And I also have with me a quattro.
So you could do extempo.
You know extempo.
But you know, it's really a privilege because when I was just fantasizing about becoming a professional musician, you know, Leon Coldero would have been, of course, the original, versatile, and the one-of-a-kind whiner boy or whiner man with some revolution. And we were there, you know, fantasizing, looking at this band that, you know, we want to be like that when we get big. We were the Sonic Express in those days. I was 11 years old, but like Marshall was about 8 or 9, you know what I mean? And we did get the opportunity to get pretty close to the band members. I'm not sure if they knew we were looking to Xerox and pilfer some of their ways and become the next generation of Summer River. That might be a good first question.
But that is what actually happened. I mean, let's face facts. You know, we knew that you all were Xeroxing on us to become the now Sound Revolution, even though it has changed somewhat along the way. But it's only the best you all could have learned from.
I think we want to clarify a piece a little bit because we might be using some jargon that might be unfamiliar to the younger ones. You know, we go in Xeroxing. You know, they might be copying or whatever, but the Xeroxing, guys, is when we basically you copy what they were going to do. So let's say we put that part, make that clear out there one day so people like get lost. But
well, you know, to be honest, being on stage back then with Sound Revolution, I remember Sonic Express along with bands like Tenacity would be just standing around, you know, because we probably on stage before them, as the case may be, and looking, arms fold in awe, like, man, listen to these guys, look at these guys, and just absorbing and sucking up like sponge, everything to say, well, and you know, one person who always say to me, Caldero, I learned this from you, you know, it is Farmer. Farmer always say, you know, that what you always look at me on stage and took, you know, what I brought to the stage and added to his performance.
Well,
nobody else ever yet.
Remember, a lot of people may not know. I mean, if they don't know, I don't know what happened to them. That before Sound Revolution, Caldero was out there, way before Sound Rev.
Yes.
And I want to jump in on a piece of that, what a piece of information that I got from Mr. Rivers about your time pre-Song Rev. one day we traveling, going down somewhere in the back of Kwaito, and we having these conversations. And I don't know how it came up. He's like, Richard Yana boy, Leon Coldero tell me, you see La Sapa? That song? He say, he make up words in that song. I say, what? He say, yeah, he make up singing that song. I say, well, nah. So I decided to verify for myself in his presence right there. So I called my sister. She's a teacher, a Spanish teacher in New York. I say, Sister, sending you a song. Just listen to the song. He called me back. He said, that fella crazy? Who is that guy? He's singing about a frog. He in love with a frog. Who is that guy? He's not right in his head. Is that even Spanish? Then I realized, like, yo, this man is a good man. We have a little connection somewhere. Last Tapa, Free-Song Revolution. What that about?
Last Supper was one of the first ever recordings that I had done, 1978. The flip side of La Sapa would have been Angelo.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about La Sapa in particular, La Sapa was actually given to me by my grandfather, Jose Torres, which is my mother's father. And that is where I got that whole parang training from, I should say, or because my mother brothers or my uncles on my mother's side and my grandfather on my mother's side, they were all very much influenced into the parang music. And, growing up, listening to it, being around it, that is where, I became one of the youngest. As a matter of fact, I might have been 16 at the time, entering the Parang Association competition, the National Parang Association, alongside groups like San Jose Serenaders and Universal Serenaders and Troyes La Libertad, just to call a few. But, like you said, La Sapa is really a song about a frog, a male frog inviting a female frog to go and bathe. But because it was sung in Spanish with a parang influence, with also soca influence in it, because that song was arranged by Rashoti. And if you listen to the bass line, it's an actual soca bass line in that song. Hence the reason why you find there are conversations that would be coming up from time to time, talking about soca parang, who invented soca parang, where it started. I seem to differ with that, because to me there's a difference between soca parang and parang soca. We have so many different styles of that genre of music, which I will call music that is played around Christmas time. I categorize certain songs as Christmas calypso, Christmas soca songs, Christmas ballads, traditional parang, soca parang, parang soca. But that's just my view on it,
I think it's the first
so
time
this whole idea about
what?
the soca parang, the parang soca. We in Trinidad and Tobago, in the Caribbean, within the diaspora and so on, once something is articulated enough and repeated, it becomes the norm.
Right.
So we have these titles and labels that have become socially common and popular. And we get into the raga soca, chutney soca, and very often the genre actually is applied because of how a particular artist is labeled. So you take Soca Train, for example. When Gypsy did Soca Train, it was a calypso. When Maximus Dan covered the same song with the same melody,
was a soca.
Here we go, a raga soca. Because he is seen as a raga soca artist, not as a calypsonian.
Right.
We spoke about Bunji when he covered Maestro songs as well, like Fiery and Savage. So we tend to twist how the genre is labeled based on who is singing it, who is the messenger. I mean, it's one of the things that makes us who we are. And here in this backstage floodline, a part of it is really no judgment, but just highlighting that we do things a particular way, and it's just the way we roll, Whether it's the best way, whether it's the most productive way, whether there are consequences or benefits of that way, surely all of the above.
So,
Well,
I think
you said something. Sorry.
no, quite.
You
Go ahead.
said something just now, Joey, that I tend to not agree with. Because to me, it's not really the artist. It has to be a genre. Because, okay, they know Caldero singing parang from a long time ago. So that because I'm going to sing a soca now, does that mean I still singing parang? If you understand what I'm trying to say. So it's either, it has to be what it is.
Yeah.
They have done chutney too.
Yes.
You know, so it's not, I wouldn't really say it's the artist. It's just a matter of, okay, when Bungie did over Soca Train, that the music, the arrangement, the style was different.
Yes,
it was more of a raga soca or soca as opposed to when gypsy, sorry.
Yes. But yeah, what I think that the singer does bring a bit of his flavor, style, and flame.
There, true.
That could really modify the work, you know.
But how does that play into the what we describing as either parang soca or soca parang? Is the artist doing that, or where that distinction is being made?
I strongly believe that soca parang has more of a soca influence as opposed to a parang soca. So, for instance, you have songs that are recorded using the authentic parang instruments, the cuatros, the box bass, the maracas, the guitar, of course, mandolin. Crazy, I would say, was the first person to create that thing that you would call parang soca, because he was the first person, I believe, that sang a parang in English, in our dialect, that we could relate to, as opposed to traditional parang that was sung all in Spanish. And most of the folks that would have attended some of these parang competitions, shows, fetes, whatever you may call it, didn't understand what they were singing. They just loved the whole atmosphere, the whole line. It's Christmas time. We know it has had parang for Christmas and we're going, but we don't understand what these singers were singing. But when Crazy did El Poquito, this place have too much mosquito, we could relate to that. I want a piece of pork, Squanta. I want a piece of pork for the Christmas. Again, we could relate to that. But when you're singing, you know, Rio Mancenare, déjame pasar, mi madre está enferma, me mandó llamar. What is that person really saying? What is that person really singing? Whereas the soca and putting more of the instrumentation. Now you have soca parang with keyboards. You might even use some horns. You're using non-parang instruments and then singing with more of a soca beat to it with a Christmas, with Christmas lyrics and so forth, then I will call it a soca parang.
Even the fusion has now streams. So we have chutney soca parang. We even had a Afrobeat parang this year.
I hear that one.
Yeah, that was Paul. Marcy Miranda sang.
Well, that actually started last year.
Yeah.
Afro Parang Soca started last year with what's his name again? I think it's not Trevor G. Someone started Afro Parang or Afro Soca Parang last year, and then Leston did one with Marcia this year, beautifully composed. As a matter of fact, I honestly find it has more of an international type of flair to it. Yes.
Talking about international, then you are in the US. We are here in Mayaro.
Yes, sir.
So tell me something. We have been seeing online quite a number of your fellow US-based Caribbean guys. Like Peter De Leon, Jimmy C, and others. Based in the US, but doing a lot of Christmas influence, calypso and soca parang soca, etc. How is that being received, and as far as you are aware, as someone resident in the US?
Well, the sad part about it is where I live, I am not that connected with the diaspora as a lot of people are, right? I live I live in the Bronx. Not a lot of activities going on in the Bronx. So my connection with the genre is still directly based on what's happening in TNT. So if you ain't make it down there, I wouldn't hear about you. So that's how it's going. Now I haven't heard anything substantive in that vein coming out there. Still, the main players out here are the guys who big in TNT. You had the big shows with Crazy. You have the Scruntas. That they're the ones who still dominate in the market up here. Even in Canada too. We know about the shows in Canada. Like those are the guys that's still coming out here. So, as much as you have on the soca scene, and I really, what we feel about the labels. The soca scene, you have a lot of guys, US based, that will come and will be major influencers in the market. I think with the soca param scene, soca param soca, it's still primarily a Trinidad-based movement. I haven't heard a lot that comes out of
Yeah, because we have been hearing a lot about traveling. You know, the usual suspects, you know, the Crazy, Baron, Scrunter, have been doing quite a lot of traveling. And they'd all still share with the national public that, you know, they're not going to be around. They'll be in England, Canada, Miami, etc., New York, for shows.
Right.
So, I mean, it connects to what you're saying there in terms of we still have those classic, iconic songs that come along with the Christmas season.
Let me take the liberty to do something, because part of my responsibility now as I am the first lime bouncer. I am the bouncer for the lime. I could let you in and I could let you out. We have a man to come in on the lime right now. A practitioner who could offer some more insight to the conversation that we have right now. Coming up to us now is Mr. Bongo Spears, one of the new guys in the art form. The newer guys in the art form. ERX. Welcome, Bongo.
Afternoon, fellas. Leon, pick up yourself. Join. Yeah, man.
Niceness.
Yeah, well, I now come in, all this coming good. I catch the last 5 minutes, you know. I like how Leon speaking about the thing, because, I mean, I would also say there is param, soca, and soca param. It's just how I just make it. I mean, everybody does see differently. But I just mentioned my which is the main genre, which music is more prevalent in the production. Right. So if you get more parang or more authentic parang, well, there is a parang soca.
Correct is right.
Yeah, if it's way more on the soca side, which are just a little, you know, people doing soca and para cuatro and American. That is a soca parang now, eh? So I go call that a soca parang. And then sometimes I just do some things that I don't know what genre I think, like dancing parang. So. Yeah, so how people see it.
Right.
So they say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but I guess natural is in the ears of the listener.
Yes.
True.
And what it does also, it makes 1978 a great year, because we had the first soca param, and we also had the first param soca in the same year.
I would say yes to that.
No,
I remember being on stage. I remember being on stage in San Fernando, Coffee Street, San Fernando, Maritime Life, where Crazy performed together with us. We were doing La Sapa, of course, and Crazy was doing Maria, which is the same El Poquito. So those two songs actually came out the same year.
Oh, so
it's amazing.
Yeah, but tell us something.
Things are, you know?
Like,
but then...
Go ahead.
Right. Let me see if I can take some liberties here, because, I mean, we have Bongo Spear, we have Leon Coldero. What I actually am intrigued by about these two artists, besides the fact that they are two red men, right? is that they are both very actively involved in both the Christmas season, and now we have seasons there. We have artists that only work in particular times of the year. And then we have people like Leon and Bongo who we would also hear in the carnival season as well. So I wanted to get a sense from both of them, in any order, of what that transition is like to them, whether it happens on Boxing Day or not, and if they go into a whole different, mindset and creative space.
Leon, you want to go first?
Go ahead, Bongo.
All right, younger guy first. All right. So for me, Joey is, yes, it takes some transitioning, but because of how trainees are, while we would be doing these parang shows and things, you would sneak in a soca, you understand, to let them know what's coming up, or a pizza you call it so, or something. So it's always right there. You always know while you're moving from this step to that step. I don't record my reggae already too, because I just do all genres too. Reggae don't do already too, so I know after that fast pace now we're going back to the reggae, and then after the reggae you go back to the parang too. For me, it's not really a big mindset. It's more like feeding it into the different current of the street. You understand, it's a river, but we are street. So I'll pass through this one slow, and then I know, well, after this corner, pick back up, feed into something again.
Well, I hear you. I hear you, Bongo, and I tend to agree with you with that, because I'm Trinidadian, first and foremost, 100%. And being Trinidadian, it's a culture. And parang is part of our culture. Chutney is part of our culture. Soca, calypso is our culture. So I don't have to change. I'll tell you something. When I was attending school, we had a band called Moods Conception. And the band wanted to play foreign music. Me and Mrs. Jones and whatever else they wanted to play. And I was fighting for soca. I want to sing Final Party, Soca Wati, when you're finished, drink a Guinness. That was always me. I always had that fire in me. Now, I'll tell you what happened. Doing the parang was all well and good. However, I saw parang as seasonal. So when the months of from the end of September, like the claim parang starts around the end of September the 30th, and October, November, December, then parang is finished. So you don't eat a food after that with parang. When I look at soca was more all year round. From January, when soca music really start playing from Boxing Day, right through after Carnival finish, you now can be traveling, throughout the Caribbean, throughout the US, Canada, and so forth. And me always wanting to be a performer, an entertainer, I saw where I could have gained more doing soca as opposed to parang. Yet still, they both my cultures as well as chutney, because I've done chutney myself, and I will continue to always, dabble, as you would say, in all the genres once it's my culture and it's Trinidad.
Yeah. I agree with you fully, because ERX, every rhythm executed. I love all genres. Never limit myself. Yeah, if it is easy, you call my parang there, no problem. And you can't call it start, you call my Calypsonian, no problem. Yeah, I will limit it.
So I want to touch on a bit of the might be slightly controversial in a way, depending on how deep we go with this. So, as an observer and somebody who is also involved more from a support standpoint as a musician, both in studio and live, one of my hypotheses is that, especially the younger upcoming artists like Bongo, would have gotten involved in some of the different seasons, because some of these seasons are pretty saturated and, quite frankly, not very accommodated. In particular, the carnival time, especially where soca is concerned. So is it in fact a reason for being so consistent in an annual way with the different seasons in the year? Because of some of that, what seems to us as onlookers seem to be not a welcoming or accommodating space in the carnival.
How to put it? I don't know about any other artist, but for me, apart from music is something that we do that we love, it's also a very big investment. And I believe if I put out a certain amount X and I can get back X plus, I don't feel I should be putting out X. Yeah, and sometimes I make less than X. So I want to jump in no alphabet where I carry jump to Z. You understand? So I mean, yes, you could be lucky, your tune could be big or whatever, but from my standpoint, I used to take a reggae and I never get my forward yet. I get a little play and thing in the reggae world, but not big like when I did Fusing It. And Fusing It wasn't even intentional, it was recorded just to prove that I could freestyle a poem. And it's keep you under the scratch when behind my back and release it. And that's the tree. That's 20 years. This year, Fusing It make it 20 years. So I may be young, but I'm the youngest veteran because I have a 20-year-old plastic on my hand, Yeah, but so when I realized through the success of Fusing It, I started to get parachuted. It was only good business sense that, hey, you're getting this door, don't come out here right and do your parenting. So I'm fighting up in the next genres where I can't really make back like the pathway that wait for us. You understand? But I'm not doing it like to really follow it up and push it and wherever. I am not telling other artists to do this or actually does that, but me, I think I real cool in me parenting and I would do my little 10 song and relax. Not that I can't do the two kind, I'll do it too, but I had to be in a real mood and tight to do that. You understand? And because of how COVID was and things now picking up pace and things, so that's why I start from that standpoint. I went rush to do the soca shoes and because it seems like they going to the parent too. Some might want to come in the parent game because they will find Leon, Bongo, Eddie, and fellas and them thing robe. You understand? But they will eat our food and something else, so they might stick to it. Until when they blew you're comfortable and have the money you could pour out and do as you please and try a thing and see what you got. That's
Bongo,
my take on it.
let me ask you a question, Bongo. You don't feel sometimes like because we eat our food in Christmas, it doesn't want to give you to eat our food outside of Christmas? Caldero and Bongo don't eat already. Eddie eats something already. They eat a little bit. Take that and let's step aside and let somebody else eat. You don't feel that.
But why not tell you? Why not say it have enough food for everybody,
It have enough food for everybody. But let me tell you something. That don't mean that you eat in Christmas, that you can't have a monster for carnival and eat again. Nothing wrong with that. Because if you have a song and it's a good song, let the song play. Let the people hear it and let the people decide. Because like I had a very good Christmas, right? Thank God. I didn't record for Christmas. And I tell myself, you know what? Let me just stay in my soca parang thing and let them boys and them pick up with, you know what I mean? The other season. But I sit down at work and my producer this year, Rice, sent me a rhythm. And Rice from down Saparia side to it, Paliseco side. When Rice sent me a rhythm, I said, nah. I said, Rice, trust me, dog, this bad. I say, I doing soca this year, going back in them. I'm going to show them that this, but the name of the song is Young Boy, right? So I just want to show them that, yeah, what? I still have it. I understand this game because putting me on stage with any one of them young ones and them, like somebody's made a comment in one of my posts, school has reopened. Teach them. Yeah, and that's not where I'm from. I am bragging and I am posting, I am patting myself on my shoulder. But the point what I'm trying to say is a very good song. The song was written by Shaft, actually. But all the song needs to get is its fair share and let the people, because guess what? My fans liking the song, loving the song, showing love. Of course, it's my song. I go love my song and I push my song to the fullest. Now, if the powers that may don't want to give me that space and don't want to give me that blind, I still good, because Caldero's still doing Caldero. You understand? It's like water and duck for me. I still going forward, ever. Backward, never.
Yeah. No, you see how you say when you hear that rhythm, it touch on you say, well, yeah, that is how I would do a soca right now.
Right.
I can feel it. Because at the end of the day, I don't record, I don't even try a param if I am feeling it.
Right.
If somebody can marry them, yeah, because I don't write tune, I don't freestyle. So if I am feeling it, trust me, I can't bring that.
Right.
And I think nobody can really write for me because for me, as an artist, I like to express myself in my own way. That what music is to me. You know? And not down on the writers, we have prolific writers, bigger polyesters, we have good men who does create their own thing too. But to me, I talk about me and my position, I just, if I don't feel it, I can't do it. I can't think somebody else feel it.
Right.
And it was like I don't echo, yeah. So I will bring my own thing. And if I hear a rhythm, you know, when you hear them rhythm, Caldero, you can't sleep and sing song in your head and you have to go. Right. That is how I would do it. With the energy you put out there to see how this song, I want to hear it. I'm telling you, I divide.
I think you just touched on something that explains a lot, Bongo. Because Joey and we talk about this, and what we notice, and you tell me if you agree with this, like with the bunch of soca, parang soca songs that we've been having over the past 15, 20 years, right? Everybody have a song. The market is flooded with songs. And one of the things that comment on with you, Bongo, in terms of the newer guys, and a few of the newer guys is, what you're singing is believable stuff. Because, take for instance, Me Eating Nothing. I am sure that story come from somewhere, and I have a similar kind of story with that too. Where you go in somebody's house and you're smelling something, and you know, so and it's like, nah, boy, me eating here, just me eating here. You're making up that excuse. And some man will say last year when I eat here, boy, and I eat that soup and I get sick, boy. Go eat here, boy. These things happen. But what you say now is that you freestyle that.
Yeah.
That takes a different turn for me, because I mean you're composed very good, but like, did you freestyle on that? I mean that says a lot.
Yeah, I mean, a storytelling for me, you must be a story that is foundation.
Right.
You know, that's how I believe you enjoy music. That's why I don't feel upset when I say anybody can sing a parang. I totally disagree with that. Leon, tell me if you agree with that. Anybody could sing soca. Not everybody could sing that.
It's true. Just like not anybody could sing a chutney.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You must have number one piece, because everybody feels they could sing, and I might even say, well, Sprang Along sing one. Yes, but Sprang Along is a comedian, right? So we expect nothing from Sprang. And although Sprang wasn't key, you understand? But we're looking for that from Sprang. If Joey's a guitarist, Joey make a cake, we can't come down hard on the cake with it. He's not a baker, he's not a chef.
Oh no,
so we expect that from Joey.
You're going on. If Joey make a cake and he keep it to himself, he's safe. If Joey make a cake and he say, hey, eat.
You know, I just ran a reference now. You know, so I don't feel like kind of way when I feel anybody could sing a parang low. Because if I looking to introduce somebody who never heard a parang or a soca parang or parang soca or whatever, to this song, they're going to hear it first time, but they know music. And they hear it out of key. And it has them storyline. And different, what you feel they will cling to that music, no, they know music. It's a rules, gotta follow. So, I mean, again, everybody now trying to do a thing, but, and I vex nobody for trying, but don't say everybody could do it. No, don't say everybody could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to take us, understanding that, Trinidad and Tobago, to a lot of people, Richard said it earlier, is perceived to be the Mecca. Even in the diaspora, where Richard is like, you have to pass that as a test of approval in the Trinidad and Tobago market, and then you even get your travels and your tours and so on. But for Leon in particular, I mean, someone who from my observation, has helped to define and shape and was part of the early inception of local musicians, singers, etc. being on tour around the world. Leon, what has been some of the notable or noticeable differences in terms of how our music and expression is appreciated and accepted in different parts of the world comparatively? Like the same song, let's say Shake It. We do it in London, Canada, New York, up Jamaica, Grenada, Barbados. Give us a little sense of if there are any differences in each of those territories.
It's a big question, Before I answer that question, I'd like to keep it real. And people don't like real now. You know what I mean? But I think we have strayed way too far from what our music, our culture is about. I think that what we're putting out there right now, the world at large don't really want it. And I'll draw a reference. I was just thinking about it this morning. What is Red Boys doing? When Red Boys produce a track right now, what do you hear? You're hearing soca, you're hearing calypso, and it's sweet, and it's good to go. Look at this new rhythm they have out right now called Tilden Hall. What is wrong with that? It dance. It's sitting in a pocket. It's nice. And I know for a fact that that rhythm is going to be one of the biggest rhythms. Hear what I'm telling you? For the entire year. Oh my gosh. For the entire year to come. As opposed to some of these other fast food rhythm, I will call it. Because you're digesting it now, and by come next month, you'll want to hear it again. As opposed to a rhythm lasting, like, we're not making catalog music anymore. We're making fast food music. Everybody wants something now, and I believe it's because of speed, technology, everything. You have your phone, the 5G, boom, you want to get it now. You can't wait. Remember when we had dial-up? You had to wait for a long period of time to get it. The music, I don't think we really put in what we really need to put in our music anymore. It have songs, I can tell you, that will still play in clubs abroad. And people will look at you and try that. You're like, what kind of old music them playing, boy? And I'm talking about in 2024. Songs like Dollar Wine, songs like Hot Hot Hot, Tiny Whiny. I could go on and on. But you will not hear a song from Carnival this year playing in some of them clubs right now outside. I just draw a reference and I tell people this, right? Let us use one of our biggest soca artists to date, Trinidad and Tobago. And we all know who we're talking about when I say one of the biggest or the biggest. Put that artist in a club, in a Hard Rock Cafe or Cafe, Hard Rock or the other one.
SOBs?
Not SOBs. Hard Rock or that another big American club. Anyway, on a Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, it ain't no carnival, eh? Let's advertise them and put them in that club. House of Blues and Hard Rock. And I guarantee you it's going to flop. Guarantee you that. But put a reggae artist, any one of them same night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it had nothing going on, otherwise, whatever, sold out. So as far as I'm concerned, we ain't even touched the tip of the iceberg yet. We ain't ready yet. Because we all about the place, searching, looking. I don't know what we're looking for. We have it, But for some reason, like, what we have ain't good enough. And I have a problem with that.
Let me follow up with that, on that same point you're making. Let me ask you a question with that, with the Hard Rock, House of Blues scenario. Do you think that's artist related or music related? Yeah.
It's a combination. It's a combination of more than that. It's the music, it's marketing, it's the artist, is everything. Is how popular you are. Now, okay, in the States, a promoter will hire you, right? Or if they're going to hire you, they will ask you how much tickets you can sell. That's a question they'll ask you. Now, you might take that as literally taking 100 tickets and selling it. No, that's not what they mean. They mean how many people you can bring to the venue. All right. So let's say you tell the promoter, 3,000. If the promoter give you that 3,000 tickets in your hand, you wouldn't sell 10. Who is doing the work? The artist or the promoter? If you understand what I'm trying to say, who is selling this event? So if you cannot sell 3,000 tickets, what am I hiring you for? If you could only sell in reality 10 tickets. Because I now have to go out there and push and promote and use whatever form and mean necessary to fill this venue so that I can pay you at the end of the day. And most of the times I can tell you this, that the artists walk away with their full pay and the promoter ends up sometimes with zero or very little, next to nothing. This is happening still today with our music, with our with promoters, with promotions. I am telling you that for a fact. So does that mean we reach? As far as I'm concerned, it is just going around in circles. So my children will now gravitate towards a soca show because daddy is a soca artist, daddy sings soca, it's a culture kind of thing, and okay, fine. They might tell a couple of friends of theirs, and their friends are Americans. So they may go for the first time. They may like it. They might want to go back. They may not, and they may not go back. So what we have plenty work still to do. Plenty work ahead of us in order for us to say, well, you know what? We reach. And a lot of us sometimes, even from an artist standpoint, just figure we reach, and we are reach yet.
But let me put both of you on a spot. Both of you either working together or individually at some point from January 1st next year. Both of you end up as in some administrative authority. I don't want to say President Atuku, I don't want to say Minister of Culture, I don't want to give you that specific title. But say legislative or administrative authority where you could make decisions. What would you, either of you, see as the first steps that you would take in addressing what Leon identified as, okay, to ensure that we on a path where we could reach? Again, no big details. What would be the first things that you would want to see happen?
Sorry.
Anyone, either one of you.
Yeah. I would say that we have to, charity begins at home. We have to love ourselves first and love what we have first. We cannot expect someone else to love what we have to offer if we don't love it ourselves. You know, we quicker to hug something and love something that doesn't belong to us than loving our own. And I have a serious problem with that.
Okay, well, for me, I would try to incorporate our music into school. I mean, I come from Liberian background before Petrician, so you know, and watching the levels in a school. You see, the other day something happened. I went to do a Christmas show and the children them was singing my song word for word, right? And that made me realize, hey, we still have hope. Yeah, we still have hope. Because most of these kids right now not listening no soca fire, no soca. It's beating, it's dancehall and triggy band, and you know the end thing. So for us to get on that wavelength, because at the end of the day, they have still the future, all of us go in and pass through. Right? So to ensure the safety of the music and to make it reach somewhere, we need to get it in the book bag and in the children's head. Because it is nothing faster than a child. Long time you could have teach a child something. About 3 things a day right now, they might teach you 10 things a day. Every day. Especially if it has something to do with technology or a tablet or a computer, that is their time. So once we get them to focus on it and to share it and to spread it and to nurture it, I believe we have to start.
That is a very true thing what you're saying there, but it has more than that, because I'll tell you this. If you turn on the radio every day and all you hear is, let's just say, dance hall, these young kids, that's all they're hearing. So if they have to write a song, they want to get involved, but that is what they're going to write. That is how they're going to feel. Remember back in the day, we didn't have much dance hall music being played on the radio. We had more, if I'm correct, country. I remember Casey Kissoon, Casey, what is called him?
Casey.
Casey Kissoon. And the top, just what?
Vision for the stars.
Yeah, top 40 songs and whatnot. They were not dancehall songs. I remember they used to print out on the newspaper a song, and we used to take the copy of that song and sing along with the radio. And this was not a local song, and this is foreign songs that the radio station would play, but it was not the kind of songs that the radio station play now. And so we are pretty much, what you eat is what you're going to, is how you're going to live. Is like a lifestyle. In Jamaica, they play reggae, right? They play reggae in Jamaica. Jamaica is a reggae country. Trinidad and Tobago supposed to be playing soca. Trinidad is a soca country. What is wrong with soca? What is wrong with Calypso?
So Leon, that is what I'm saying. Start at the elementary level.
Right.
You understand? Yeah. Let's start young. Because the DJs today what play? What age are they?
Young
it's
DJ?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a little fan.
Yeah.
So they know that from their era, from like me. But when I was growing up, I know Bounty Killer and Beanie Man.
Right.
Bob Marley. Understand? Very rare. Well, yeah, but yeah, little Leon and thing and a super blue round carnival. But after that, again, right after carnival, that down the line.
Yes.
So that what we learn. That what we singing in school and all.
Right.
Talent to any little thing. Unless Joey them come and play something for we to learn like that or the rata and them kind of thing. It's nothing, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, man chanting, you're small.
Because that's what they're hearing.
That's right. So, I think you start from the school. It go get into the radio station and I know because, I mean, the children yesterday is the adult today, so that is how it is.
Yeah, I don't know no other genre of music, you know. I love my dancehall, I love my reggae.
I love all, but I think for we to safeguard our culture, for we to safeguard it, yeah, we are taking still it young.
Yes, because
it will take versions to it. It's because it's evolution and everything, and nothing stays the same. The only constant is change. So it will bend a little bit, but we're supposed to still at the effort.
I just feel that I love my soca music. Kill me dead. Give me soca 24/7. Because or calypso or chutney, our music, our culture, bro. I eat, sleep, breathe. Soca, chutney, soca, parang. That's me. That's my music. It's the only thing I just feel good about. And like I said, I listen to reggae. Yeah, all right, cool thing. Yeah. Listen to some Latin. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Listen to some R&B. Yeah, all right. But hey,
Gentlemen, what happens next? Okay, so no, we cannot not mention what these businessmen, you see, we have to remember, and the public persons in the diaspora need to appreciate that this is a profession, this is a career, this is a business. And apart from the talent and the music and the work and the musical offerings, these two gentlemen in particular are two entrepreneurs. You understand? And I will start with Mr. Caldero here. Because I have recently visited, I had myself some cutters and some drinks, my wife and I, at Caldero's Grill and Stage. And I must say, publicly, that the service was exquisite and excellent. Service as well as the product. The food, the drinks, service with a smile. You understand? So, Leon, I want to give us a little, synopsis or background of what's happening at Caldero's Grill and Stage.
Okay, so Caldero's Grill and Stage, it was originally Caldero's Flavor. And this all came into being because of COVID. It is nothing that I am new to as far as culinary is concerned. I have been cooking for the longest time. I love food. I love dabbling in food and, creating different things and fusing different spices and whatnot. And so I came home to perform and record pre-COVID. And COVID came and I decided, you know what? When I saw entertainment took a backseat, I said, Caldero, you know what? Money dwindling away, you need to do something. God bless you with a pair of hands that every time we go somewhere, we line in and what Caldero cooking. I always cooking. I want to cook. I will meet people cooking and move them from the pot and I will finish the pot. And that kind of thing, right? Everybody always enjoying the food, enjoying the flavor and everything. Caldero, why do my restaurant, boy? You're good at what you do, and this. But then again, I got discouraged along the way. It's too much hard work. It's long hours. You just have to marry to that. I say, you know what? Let me forget people, and let me just put this. let me bring this into being. And Caldero Flavors was formed. That is in 2020, and like I said, pre-COVID, right? And it just took off. Started with a food trailer, and moved to several different locations, trying to find the proper location. One man said to me, Caldero, oh, you only moving so? Oh gosh, I said, well, better hear what's going on. I will move until I find what I'm looking for. There's nothing wrong in moving. You read stories about Colonel Saunders. Colonel, it's Colonel, isn't it, man? Yeah, KFC.
Yeah, the KFC man.
Who didn't really make it big? Who didn't really get it right until he was somewhere in his 70s? So what is wrong with me moving until I find exactly, and I still ain't finished moving it. I'll be honest with you, I'm not done yet. However, right now I am located on 104 to 106 Independence Avenue in San Fernando. It's Caldero's Grill and Stage, where we have an outdoor deck and patio, bringing live entertainment. I haven't really gone full-fledged yet in all the live entertainment I would like to bring because I still want to see live musicians on stage. And I miss that because I came from that era. Talking about bands, I saw Leston Paul posted something recently about what happened to the bands, where did the bands go, and things like that. I had my comment to make, because when an artist feel that, I could eat more food and leave them fellas and them at home, and the promoter feel it would be cheaper to bring one man than to bring 12 man, I will go with the artist alone and a drum machine or Ableton as the case may be. But I say that in joke, but it's real at the same time. Because there is nothing sweeter than listening to a man play some guitar riffs and drums and you know what I mean? Bro, anyway, back to Caldero's Grill and Stage. So we are open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come and check us out. It's a beautiful place, a place where you can bring your families and stuff like that. And I am not perfect, because there are a lot of things still to put in place to make it better than it is right now. So it's work in progress. Living abroad for some time, I have learned about customer service. And one of the things that I'm really, really passionate about is bringing good quality service to my customers. And of course, must have good tasting food at a certain standard, great cocktails, and everything else to go with it. So this is just, the beginning of Caldero's Grill and Stage.
Nice. Bongo, what you up to business-wise?
Well, business-wise, I have my own clothing brand, the RX brand. I also do videography, drone footages and things for music videos and stuff. Organ-wise, I can tell you, 2019, I never know I could have grown anything. COVID taught me that I have green thumbs, as they say. So, right now, it's boots on here,
What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's boots. All the pillars joke, watch, it's the boat.
I like that.
Yeah, we on the land right now, we on the land.
I don't know growing up because you could supply me with fresh vegetables and me because I've been looking.
There you go. There you go.
Mine might take a little longer because it's strictly no chemical.
That's what I'm looking for.
That I produce.
Yes.
You understand?
It's organic.
Yeah, so
that's what we call organic.
Well, here what?
So that's mean or not there.
So, as an airline, we have pop-ins, right? Bongo, you pop in, but I have somebody special to pop in on this line too, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but Bongo for you.
Mr. Pearson.
Well, look over here.
Happy day, happy day.
You know, my heart better in the bush now, but I'm going to take you to come. What are you doing?
Listen, you're in the right place because I'm still waiting on my roast fish.
But
It's
again,
long overdue.
if I only turn the camera right now, with smoke there, there's roast fish, roasting fish here on.
Oh my goodness. And you did not send me my invitation.
Oh, but you know you have VIP pass. You know you have VIP pass.
Joey, this man is one of the best roast fish I ever had. You all need to try it.
Leon and I, we in Mayaro right now,
Oh, very well.
where, the roast fish, they pride themselves as being, the mecca of the roast fish as well.
Well, I endorse it, Mr. Bongo Spear, He good.
I don't know, because we have Bodo up here, and Bodo going to organize some roast lobster for us in a little bit.
Okay. Very well.
Yeah. Whatever again on the leaders. We saw on the way.
And the difference with them and we, right? We expect leap and straight galvanized. We don't foil nothing. That's steam, whatever they call root.
Straight galvanized.
Yeah, we don't have galvanized or fisherman style from the sea onto the fire.
So
Yeah.
I'll note about Chrissy. So Chrissy, in a way, is responsible for where we is here right now. In that years ago, Joey ended up meeting she by Saparia. He didn't know I was in Trinidad. She know I was there. She said, but Joey reached out by me and I had to play the role, happy, to see him or whatever. But he didn't know, and I didn't know he was coming. Because that girl didn't know what's going on with me and Joey. She had to come in. Hey, I tell Joey,
Yes,
you're holding it to
I have to take precautionary measures, because I didn't want to get in trouble on either side. So I have to just say, Richie here now, I do so and so, because I don't want to upset nobody. I have to take measures.
Take care, Joey was coming down looking for money for me. Or Joey,
Next year, Joey.
yeah, you understand? So she gave me a chance to run. It was funny, I get a chance to run. But
Nice.
as a result from that meeting, when me and Joey linked back up that day, these conversations started.
Yeah.
That resulted in where we are today. So Christy, thank you.
You're welcome, and I'm so happy that you all started this, and I hope it continues for a long time in the near future.
I'd like to see
yes.
a pleasant surprise.
Yes,
Nice to see
You
yes.
as well.
You want to see that shake there? That is the breeze on the beach here in
I was
Mayaro.
wondering what is happening there,
Yes, that is happening here.
Yeah, I want to thank each one of you all.
Turn it your heart out. We are here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Guys, I'm not studying, boy. I'm not studying you right now. I just stay let's talk about
we have to stay we have to stay sort of warm on this side.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
are longing for that sunshine.
Before we leave, I want to wish Leon, Joey, Richard, and you, Christy, all the best of the season. A bright and prosperous new year, and be safe out there. I don't know.
Nice.
And musicians, want to keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do it alone.
That's right.
Well, they're rock. I can't listen to myself whole day. Just keep on doing it, brother. We have to listen to somebody else. And we know it
That's
happens
right.
to everybody. You know? Richard,
I see-
blessings and
I
I
see
like when you
nothing.
started, brother. I endorse it full 100. And Christy,
guess-
thanks for putting everything together. Thanks for putting everything together.
Mr. Caldero, as I mentioned, and I will always say this, I am one of your biggest fans. I love your music, love your
Very much.
vibration, and I will be visiting your place of establishment, hopefully in the near future, and try out something, bring the family and friends down and give you that support.
As Bongo said, you're VIP. Anytime you're welcome.
Appreciate it. No, that's
Listen,
don't tell us now, Richard.
Listen, to prove that you are one of Leon's biggest fans, right now,
Yes.
why don't you put your hand in the air and shake it?
That was me shaky talking about, eh? That was
So
me
yes,
hand.
no, but listen, as I always tell you guys, I'm a born dancer. I cannot sing to save my life, so I will not attempt.
Christy, you could sing them line. You could sing four
I
line, man. Put
can't,
down
I
the hand,
can't.
shake
I'm
it.
not going to even try. But
All right.
go and get some stuff done. So guys, I'll make a toast. Long life, health and strength. Cheers. I'm always at it. I have to keep warm in this cold country.
Hey, them fellas talking about the insurance, but they lime without drinks, eh? They lime without drinks. They had nothing they had. Them boy had nothing they had. Them boy, Bongo is the only one representing them people in hand, nothing they had. But they had
right
instruments,
now-
eh?
I mean, the time of spirits with the coconut water and
Coconut water.
I grape juice mix. It's nice.
Coconut water, Bongo,
And grape juice.
Bongo and Christy, before you leave, 2 minutes. I want to bring somebody on, a really good friend of mine who, in another way, instrumental for me being in this space. One of my good friends from Angola. Let me say hi to people of the islands, man.
Okay.
Farah.
Hey,
Hi,
what's
Tal.
up, Richard?
Hello, Mr. Anguilla.
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening. How everybody doing?
We're fine.
Greetings.
Farah is one of my really good friends. We met in college when I was going upstate, and we bonded on cricket. And arts is the way we stayed in the group together.
Yeah,
I do a lot of projects with Farah where I require her to use her voice. And in every project that I did, nobody cares about what I did. Everybody does be asking, who's a woman boy? You are a real professional woman boy. No credit for me in anything I done.
Oh, Lord.
We are blessed to have in your presence. Joey, you do some work in Angola, right? You're your people up there.
Actually, right now I'm doing some work for farm recording, Justin Richardson.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I always get our tracks and then I send it up.
Oh, that is awesome.
Met King Baker Jr., who's in St. Martin, but I know he has some crack in Angola as
He
well.
competes in Angola as well.
Yes. So the guitars you hear in their production is me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people in the house. I'm limin at my mother's house right now, and I got a lot of people in the house who are very closely connected to the people you've mentioned as well.
Oh.
Nice.
Call your mother, please.
It's a Caribbean connection.
Call your mother, yes.
You want to see her? It's a little loud. I had to come up here because it's a little loud where the people are right now. So let me just give y'all a little view to
Have a
say
moment
hello.
with you, call your mother.
So this is everybody down here. Say hi, everybody.
Happy night.
And this is Mama. Mommy, that's it. Just look at it up.
So she has two hands waving there.
Kalina.
Nadia?
No, the reason
So
why
that
I
was
want to talk.
Kalida and my mommy. My mother,
That's the
Jackie.
reason why I want to talk because I trying to go Angola for the longest while, eh?
Oh,
But I'm trying to go, but I'm waiting for Farah to say, boy, come to have your place to stay. She never tell me the vote point. But I know my mother. I'm telling you,
I need matching. What about that?
oh, that you no longer waiting.
We will make all them things do. We lying on the floor on the sofa.
We have
What I want to hear?
What we nothing you do? What we nothing you do?
What do you do? So I know your mother will tell me those words. That's why I wanted to hear from Sheena. So, but I know because she this and she goes say, "Yes, tell him come."
Oh
Yes,
man,
that's
she believes in you. She always telling me about your Facebook post. You need to tell your friend Richard that I love the kind of so post, the lyrics he was posting from the song, and he posted this song and that song. So she uses my Facebook account and sees the post by my friend. So she's on my Facebook account more than I am, and sees Richard's post and is telling me about them. And I'm like, wow, she doesn't even know Richard, but she likes him because she reads his post.
Hey, wait a minute, you forgot I met your mother?
Yeah, at the graduation?
Yes. That we
Oh,
bonded.
I was wondering.
Richard, why does everybody's mom love you? Even my mom loves Richard. What is that?
Have a
That was
wee.
a long time ago.
Everybody loves Raymond and Richard.
Yes.
I have a way with mature people. Let's put it that way.
Richard, I think it would be cool to just mention everybody loved Raymond and everybody loved Richard. We did a semester in LA when we were in college, and we went to a filming of Everybody Loves Raymond. That's the time. I don't know if
Yeah,
you were
that's
there,
right.
Richard.
I didn't go. I wasn't there. No, I didn't
Oh,
go to
you
that.
are.
I
The
didn't
price
go
is
to
right,
that.
though.
I was on the Price is Right. Yes. And she got on TV. The Price is Right.
And did not win, did not make it on stage.
Well, at least you've made it on the cameras.
I did.
I tell what we're doing here now is we spreading it. We spreading the joy.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we going up the diaspora. We going up Caribbean culture, Trinidad culture. We know you dig it. You and Khalida dig it. So we're glad to have you on just to bring your greetings. And we'll be doing some work with you later on because we can't let your voice go to waste.
Awesome.
All right. Blessings, sister. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of the season, everybody. Y'all take care.
well.
When I heard
You
about this
well.
episode, all that was just playing through my mind was, I come down my mind, the freedom music at super time. I want to ride a jump. Lady to Yeah, have a great evening. Thank you. Enjoy. All the best, Richard and Joey. Y'all take care.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Caldero,
Yes, it.
Joey, Richard, nice seeing you guys. Mr. Bongo Spear, Mr. Bongo Spear, coming to my roast fish.
Yeah, mama. Yeah, mama.
Make sure you have it there for me.
Anytime you're ready, you just see.
Okay, guys, well, be good and keep it up. And I hope this will be one of many more sessions to come.
That's the plan. That's
Okay.
the plan.
All right, be good. Bye, Mr. Caldero.
Guys, it's that kind of time, eh? Because
Only getting dark, boy.
it's the sunset
Gotta
and
get
the
dark and
It's start to get
And
dark.
then bad boy start to come out and touch me.
El Poquito, that place had too much mosquito.
Have too much mosquito.
That girl in here, I don't go by the fire.
Guys, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure from this end, like having both of you on. I think we did a good touch of what this is going to be like. I know for sure now, Mr. Caldero, you want to be back here because you touched on some things there that we have to go deep down inside, you know. So you will be back here, and Bongo, of course, we have some other things to touch on because we have a connection which we explore yet. But there's a reason why you're here. You come from the same place we come from. You understand? You pass through the same people we pass through, them kind of thing. So we had to touch on that a bit. But it was a pleasure doing this. I feel really good about it. I'm really happy it started. And again, it's been a while we having conversations about it. A while.
As I say, the hardest thing to do is to start.
The hardest thing to do is to start.
Correct, he's right. Yep.
Vaya con Dios.
All have instruments. Leave me with something now.
What instrument for that one?
Hey, them buy a thing, boy.
And what you playing, but
Hey, buy my rap right there too, you know. Little place all there, load up.
I want to start over for you.
Man, drunk already? Man, drunk already? But that is fire. That is fire. Yeah.
Stool collapse.
I mean, my rap man, you for long train on every job.
Vaya con Dios, mi amor.
Feliz Navidad. Enjoy the rest of the season. All the best for 2025. Moving forward.
All the best. Yes, Lord. All the best.
Yeah.
Out. Oh, good. Boys, get up. Memories don't lie.
Listen. All you play, all you like Baccarat. All you play, all you know Baccarat. Well, listen, this is the place for that. But that was cool. I mean, I think it gave a good impression of what we want to be doing with this. I think we have a good idea. I think that went well. And I enjoyed the interaction. I enjoyed the guests. I enjoyed that. So you guys have fun.
The experiences that we experienced really.
Oh Lord, here you go. All you have plenty of them kind of things to hear from this man. It was like, I want to know, you know. You have plenty of from this fella.
Listen, there's no better way to learn, to teach, to pass on, to transfer, than just reminiscing on not only the obvious in terms of those events, the tours, the travels, the shows, the carnival experience, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but the Trinidad and Tobago carnival model as it was exported in different countries around the world, and how it was adapted to suit the laws and the cultural practices in those places, whether it was on the islands to Jamaica, New York, Miami, Canada, etc. A shorter time on the road, to show more restraint and that kind of stuff. And Richard, it brings me right to us understanding we are who we are. You and I, this is directly because we would have been influenced by persons that would have planted that seed to give us this sense of consciousness.
Well, yeah, because I find myself asking that question, like where did this thing come from with me? And like more and more as we go along in hearing certain conversations and then recognizing so much of the people who we respect, like we both connected to those people in different spaces, but we have the same impression and they have a similar contribution to our upbringing. Like things like that, like really is what drives me to want to do something like this. Because I don't think that I don't want to be too much on that level, I can get sometimes. But I think it's a reason how you and I ended up being this way. Because I can remember the first day we met. I don't know if you remember. It would have been what you have? What do you remember?
Were you wearing braces them times?
Yeah, I wore braces all through. I was like, till I form 3.
But I think you're the first person I know with braces now. And I was like, what is this thing in this man's mouth? It looking painful.
Metal mouth, but that had a painful times. No, yeah, it was in Form 1 in folk choir. I was in Form 1, you would have been in Form 2. Miss Kobe called me out at test, boy. We doing tests in school, Miss Kobe called me out at test. And like, what trouble I didn't know, boy. She's like, would you like to come to the course? You want to play Mara to the folk choir? And that was the Saturday, that was about the Thursday, so on the Saturday, we end up on the bus. But you wasn't again Form 2, so you were like the youngest person there, and I was younger than you. So that's, and 2 guys, and I remember we just end up, you sit on one seat, and I come and sit down next to you, and that was it. We just talked right through, and it just continued from there. Like the different parts we went through life, but we always kept that center right there. And how the conversations used to flow, man, like it just made sense that we pay attention to like where those things came from.
And for who don't know, we are talking about the Palo Seco Government Secondary School in Southwest Trinidad and Tobago. All right, where we had teachers like Miss Sandra Kobe, Mrs. Helma Barnes, Ingrid Ryan Ruben, Lenora Bailey. Who
Mr. Hall boy, Brian Hall boy.
Who would have taken care of us culturally and socially, you know? But it also brings into question growing up in a rural community in Trinidad and Tobago, having parents who have noble and humble background and means and education and so on, they would have entrusted us, their children, to persons who are a little more savvy, articulate, you know, to really contribute and deal with our formation as well.
Yeah, I had a pause there though, because I mean you went to the part that where you are connected in Paraseco, right? Paraseco secondary. But my piece, as with your piece, your journey started even before that, with me in Sapphire Boys RC. And I can't, and you can't not speak of Emirates, right? Once you're talking about it, it's like
who you calling Emirates? Who you calling Emirates?
this is the first time in my life I ever referred to her as Emirates. Miss Joseph Moms, I feel like moms, that's moms. But
Mrs. Emirates Joseph, aka Lady Luck.
Lady Luck, boy. Lady Luck. Yes. Like, she picked us out when I was in like standard 3, standard 4, 1 to join the choir, 2 Calypso. She picked me out to sing Calypso. And that the relationship, I forgot Best Village too. So that started my part in the arts there. So when Miss Ryan and them get me, I was accomplished already, you know. I was already on that journey. When you meet me, like we were like on that same point, and just like, and that is school influences now. When we step outside now, the people outside the school space, you know, that's a whole nother group of people. You're talking like people like Max, people like Zeno, people like Connie, also.
Mr. Worrell.
Andy Worrell, boy.
Ashford Joseph.
And we can't start not stop to talk about Ashford. Yeah. People again, like the cool thing about it is like I know Ashford, you know Ashford, I know Miss Joseph, but it's different spaces we know them in. And both related, but we share the same experience with them. We have the same impressions of them. And I think I like how we have that sort of organic. Like the same people, my experience with Bass is different from yours, but we have the same impression with him.
Yeah,
same
and also we reconnected recently with Elvin Burke, who would have one of the collaborators and guys who worked with the Joseph School of the Arts, you know, now the Vision Music Academy. So we would have met persons who were members of other institutions, but we must also mention the church community, because this is the thing again, country life, it's all integrated. So from the priest and pastor, choir leaders in the church, in my case, Los Bajos St. Joseph RC, Dennis Jones Peters, before Miss Kathleen Celestin, David Robinson, Steve Gervais, Pamela Gervais, you know, and the various Roman Catholic priests who would have passed through. And I must say, we had our fair share of very culturally charged priests who socially integrated themselves in the fabric of the Palo Seco community. You know?
But I did talk about Father Brendan.
Father Brendan, Ryan, you know?
Father Brendan was Jesus, boy. He was Jesus. Jesus for everybody.
Father Jesus.
He was Father Jesus.
Yeah, my first time playing on the road for Carnival It was Father Brennan Ryan who took the picture of me Carnival Monday crossing Arpita Avenue and Front Street.
What you doing in town? What you doing in town? So much thing to do. Don't in that time, Sapphire used to have mass, was flowers have mass. I saw Patas who had a band, I thought I had a band in Buenos Aires. What Brandon Ryan doing in town?
In Port of Spain, Port of Tongue.
Port of town. Now, I think also that we should acknowledge from the community that and even from our interaction, there are some people who are not with us that we should acknowledge, who I am pretty sure would have been part of this spotlight in any way, in many different ways. Broken.
Yeah. Kurt the Flute.
Broken, Kurt the Flute. Peacock.
Yes, Kevin King.
Peacock would have been here, yeah. Arthur.
Definitely.
Yeah, like people who were we call them cultural, like, who no longer with us, but were part of the formative period with us, and would have been here. And I think they left their mark, and part of it, what we do into is like trying to capture the spirit of what those guys would have left us with, what they shared with us. Because I mean, Broken left us with some stories. Broken left me with some stories before I passed. They're like, yo, I can't wait to get into these things, but like, yo, I'm gonna stop right there because.
But we also want to encourage our viewers as well to share their stories, their background, the mentors, because we are just leading by example, but we are certain that in your neck of the woods, you would have had similar experiences, both at your primary, secondary school, church community, broader village communities, and so on, of persons who would have impacted the adults that you would have grown to become. So share those stories with us.
Yeah, because I talk about us as what we were doing in our times, and I think we should acknowledge now that track you're hearing in the back there, where that came from. Again, somebody who came from our time too. Sean Perez from Palo Seco, Paulo Boy with us who's now living in Germany. He did all that production as well.
Papa Boy.
Yeah, yeah. Like we always stay connected with Sean. I lost him for a few years. You would have stayed with him, and he put this music together for us. And because as you mentioned, like people who had the other mentors, like while we were doing our stuff down there, you had the guys like Kurt Allen, Roger George, and then like they were at that group there that they were doing a lot of stuff around that time. I mean, we want to hear those stories too because those guys had mentors. And if we could get back to what that practice was back then of the mentorship that we had in schools, secondary and primary, it could do a lot for the growth of us in a cultural format, in a social format. Like a lot could happen as a result of that. So those are the things we really want to hear, we want to talk about and share with the wider diaspora and people who are interested in us and in what we do, you know?
Because definitely in Trinidad and Tobago, the successes both in sport and culture and academia didn't happen just by chance. You know, there were persons in the community who had that eye to really pick out that talent, the same way, you know, Mums Emrys Joseph would have seen Richard, and even before he would sing, she would see that potential in him. And, you know, the teachers from long ago would have had that kind of discernment because they treated their profession as a vocation, definitely, and not just as a work.
I'm born to pick with she too, especially every time when I get chance. She will cut my tail in school. I get relics. I remember that time she beat me and I was crying and she come and hug me up and that's what I'm crying for. Can you imagine that? Moms, I love you. You know, but those things are really really important to me. I cherish what I experienced with them. The stuff we did outside. I look forward to sharing those things. But a big part of what we want to do too, again, as we spoke about in diaspora and globally, connect with people of the islands too. Of the islands in other territories. I look, one of my favorite places that I've never been to, and it's only because of two people, and a third one now is Anguilla. Parabanks, like that's my girl, and we all, and like she's a big part of us getting to this point because she is always interested in stuff. Like I want to talk stuff about what's going on there. Like there's some boys doing some stuff in I put to be excited around this time. Those parent boys up there, man, I enjoy their story. I enjoy what they do. Like I want to know about these things, man. I want us to share these things.
Definitely, I've been following the string band, and so on. And how about transitions out of the Christmas season and get into a lot of folk music? So it doesn't end, and it's even something our parent groups here in Trinidad and Tobago could learn from, how to remain relevant and active outside of the Christmas season. What kind of repertoires could work with your same orchestration and instrumentation outside of the season, you know?
So when they want things explained properly and clearly, like Joey is the man for that. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy to speak using the Queen's English, well, not the King's English, using the King's English to say these nice words and thing and explain things in with using big words. I'm not your guy. I'm not that guy. Oh, important piece. And you see me, I'm drinking here as a line. We are not in the, I want to say, a big part, let me just say this, a big part of what we want to talk about is health. Health as part of the culture that we have now. This is Moby. People who would know me as somebody who lime and drink canteen. Yeah, I had the time, but I've slowed down tremendously because of, not health concerns for me, but I'm getting up there in age, and I think it's something that we have to take active look at. And also we want to talk about it in the entertainment sense of how it affects us in the entertainment. And saying us in the entertainment because I'm part of it as a fan and seeing the toll that it takes. And I know Joey has some insight that he would like to share with that. So something that we work together as a group, we look together as a group in terms of how health factors with us. So while we liming in order to have food, drinks, everything, but we want an opportunity now that we could on a wider scale, share alternatives. We don't have to go down that road all the time. So don't want to sound too preachy, as though that way. But I think it's part of the conversation that we want to make sure.
Well, what's important to folks is that we are not speaking from any pedestal. Don't get us wrong at all, because we would have been victims of some unproductive choices as well. So the idea is for the next generation coming up, we would like to share some of the decisions we made that were probably not the best, so that the next generation coming up could avoid some of the unproductive choices that we made, you know? And here's where, when it comes to financial literacy, health and wellness, both mental and physical wellness as well, these are things that, while we are grateful to our mentors and so on, they did their best in their capacity and role, but we are now approaching 2025, and being a mentor, an instructor, a teacher, calls for a lot more, not just only teaching these substantive discipline or technical areas of the subject, but also lifestyle. Packing your lunch. If you have a rehearsal, if you're into playing pan in a soca band or what have you, plan for the long haul. Rehearsal's going to finish 11, 12, in the night. So you don't want to be at the mercy of the fast food outlets or the fast food vendors. You can pack your lunches. Now there are a lot of lunch kits that can keep your food warm. Thermos that could keep it both hot and cold. So we'll be touching on those things and giving you tips and so on that we would not have had the benefits of in our time.
So listen, as this goes with conversation, right? Conversation and opinions. Now, jury might think that we don't think we right. I think I'm right 9 times of the time when I speak, even though I may be wrong, I think I'm right. Hey, that's what it is. That's good, right? Right. Anyway, things will happen. We'll make mistakes. We may say things you don't agree with. Anything to apologize for? Hey, yeah, we there with that. Like, cool, because we're not here to be idiots. We're not here to put people down. We have an opinion, we say it. Do you want to clear it up? That's fine. That's okay. But that's what this is going to be about. Sharing, engaging, learning. I view this as a real opportunity for me to learn. I've learned so much with this guy. I've learned so much with the people that have been around with him that I don't see why that learning should stop now. With my decision, we continue with that. So it's going to be a nice journey. I view this as a journey, an exciting journey, a fun journey. I look forward to it.
So I would like to do something very provocative at this point.
Oh God, here we go now.
Richard, Zen O'Brien, do you eat meat? Do you eat meat?
No, I do not.
Right.
No, I do not.
I will go on record as to challenge and question Richard's patriotism as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Because this is our national meat. Our national meat. Pork, especially around Christmas time. My wife baked this ham. This is the national meat.
All right, I will challenge that. This say our national meat. I will challenge that. What I would say is that is Christmas meat. The national Christmas meat is ham. But I think outside of Christmas, Trinidad like chicken. Boom. Chicken is the national meat. Chicken is the national meat.
Well, but we most popular meat.
I think it's the national meat.
I'm coming from South. You know, you have family down Erin. And we have Erin farm. Don't let me go and tell them about it, you know. They have no chicken farm in Erin, you know.
No, because everybody has their own chicken. But that's the most important one you have behind it. There you go.
So to balance things off, we're talking health. That was just to be provocative and facetious, folks. But we also have...
Hold on. Spell facetious.
F-facetious. F-facetious.
There you go. Spell facetious. I'm making sure may use no word I can spell. So I will say elementary as possible.
So it's a lime. It's the Christmas season. So we have our, you know, and we're not prejudicial. We're not growing grapes in Trinidad and Tobago, but we have it here. We import the grapes.
If you wanted to be national, you will have some Portugal, some mango that you save from Trinidad. That is a national dish. That is a Christmas dish. But you want foreign. I'm foreign and never eat them thing. You want it.
I'm just trying to make you feel included.
Mommy, let it done, boy.
So what's the thing? Richard is in the US. Richard is in the US drinking Moby. I am in Trinidad and Tobago eating grapes. Now it's about.
It's a cultural exchange. That's how we go with that. So listen, folks. I think we've given you an idea of what this is going to be about. We'll try our best to make this as entertaining and informative as possible, but I think it's going to be something that who knows what direction it's going to take. But I give what I think we'll be as honest as we could be. We'll be true as we could be, as we should be. And wherever it goes from here, it goes from there. You take care talk.
Yeah. Grapes were nice and juicy, boy. Grapes were nice and juicy.
What have we done? So listen, whatever on this TV, we comment. It's Backstage with Joey and Zen. The world's first spotline. never to be called that P other word anymore. It's a pod line from now on moving forward. You see me making it that bad word. Hey folks, it was nice. We'll be around. Alright? Love and blessings.
Bye now. Good vibes.